You know, Congressman, if I am not mistaken, the last time that you were on the program, we were sitting here, we were talking about student debt, and you were very clear, very confident that we're going to see action before the midterms. We now have New York Times opinion columnist Jamelle Bouie writes, quote, "The fact of the matter is the Republican Party does not have anything to offer the millions of working middle-class Americans who labor under the burden of student debt. For all the talk of populism, the party is still hostile to the social safety net, opposed to raising the minimum wage, hostile to unions and worker power, and virtually every economic policy intervention that isn't tax cuts and upward redistribution of the many to the most fortunate few." So I guess the question, Congressman, is you've seen the pushback that Republicans have had to student debt relief, right? That they want people to feel like this isn't going to go to them if they didn't go to college, that it's a question of fairness, whether or not people should be paying for other people's student debt. I think that's just the wrong frame in general, but I also know that it is going to be pernicious between now and November. How then do Democrats push back against that idea?
Well, it's real simple. When President Trump was president and the Republicans controlled the House and the Senate, they passed the $2 trillion tax break to the richest people in America, to the biggest corporations in America. And now we have a president, President Biden, and a democratically controlled House and Senate where we are actually passing legislation that's helping the average American, the person who's going to work every day, working hard, trying to get above water. We are doing things to make sure that the most Americans, not the few, like the Republicans represent, but we represent the vast majority of Americans who just want fairness. Talk about fairness. Fairness is making sure that somebody who wants to make their life better and they go to college, and for example, the average Latino in America after 12 years still owes 80% of their student loans. That's not right. That's not good. We want people to get on their feet, to start a family, to plan for the future, to buy a home, these kinds of things. You can't do it when you've got crushing student loan debt, no matter who you are. And one of the things I want to make clear, Alicia, a lot of us talk about how this is going to benefit lower income minority families and individuals who've gone to better themselves. But the vast majority of people who are going to be helped in this are going to be white individuals and white families. It's going to help everybody get out of this crushing student debt.